Hello viewers, today I shall be discussing The Rattrap, a chapter from Flamingo, C.B.S.E class 12, and this is a very nice story written by Selma Lagerlof, who was a Swedish writer born in 1858 and died in 1940. And this story deals with a common theme that a man's essential goodness can be awakened through kind behavior and understanding. The central character in this story is a peddler who was a very poor man and who was doing the peddler's job as he was making rat traps and he was selling them, and secondly he was doing some begging, and he was a part-time thief also. Actually, for keeping his body and soul together, he was doing these three things commonly, and his clothes were in rags, his cheeks were sunken, and hunger was reflecting through his eyes. And one day when he was moving on the road in a tired condition, then suddenly one idea struck to his mind that this whole world is nothing but a big rat trap. So after that it has become his favorite pastime, because he was thinking about those fellows who got tempted and they were trapped in the temptation, and there were some other fellows who were just moving around the bait, as baits are set in the rat trap, and the rat touches those and the end to rat's life comes. So this is the obvious process. So one day he was moving on the road. It was a dark evening just before the Christmas, and not just one day, but it was 2 days before. So he saw one cottage at the roadside and he asked for the shelter. And there was a great surprise because the owner of the cottage welcomed him. He offered him porridge and he offered him tobacco. They both played the game of cards that was majorly till their bedtime. And the owner was an old man. He was having no wife or children, so he wanted someone's company. So there are two sub themes in this story. One is the solitariness. In this story there are three solitary characters. One is the peddler, second is crofter, and third is the iron master. So the crofter was very happy that he got someone's company, and he was telling him that in his youth days he used to work on the farms of Ramjo iron mill, but as he has turned old, he was not able to do day labor. So his cow was supporting him, and last month he received 30 kronas payment. And the crofter realized that the peddler was not believing him, so he has shown that money, which was just kept in the leather pouch which was hanging on the nail on the window frame. And after seeing the money, the peddler was shaking his head and he was satisfied. And this act generated temptation in the mind of the peddler. And next day in the morning, he came back, he has broken the window pane and he has taken the money, and he was very happy on this smart act, and he has gone to his way. And for some initial hours he was very happy, but after that he has taken the roads to the woods as he has stolen the money. So he was having fear in his mind, and after some time he was not able to come out of the jungle, so he was moving in the same part of the jungle throughout the day, and when the evening came he was deadly tired. Then he lied down on the ground, and when he was lying on the ground he heard some thumping sounds. So he realized that there may be some iron mill and some people will be around. So he proceeded there, and when he entered into the iron mill, there were some sounds as the waterfall was roaring outside, and raindrops were falling on the brick roof, and the bellows were making sound, and coal was also clattering. So after entering, he asked for the permission from the major blacksmith, and in a haughty way he has allowed him to stay there. And after some time he has reached just near the furnace, and then the iron master, who was on his nightly visit, he saw him. He was a prominent iron master. Earlier he was in army, and he was mistaken in identifying the peddler. He thought he was his own old army friend. So he has offered him to visit his home on the occasion of Christmas, and again he was requesting the iron master, but peddler was refusing his invitation. Then he had gone his home, and after half an hour, his daughter came, and she was a very sensible girl with big eyes, and she was a modest girl, and she was not pretty at all, but she was humble. And when she came, the peddler was lying on the ground, and he was covering his face with his hat, and he was used to sleep with one eyes open. Actually, he was having some fear in his mind. Then she has picked up the hat, and he jumped up abruptly. And the daughter of the headmaster, whose name was Edla Wilmanson, realized that either the man had stolen something or he had come from the jail. Then she has talked with him very compassionately and convinced him to go to her house, and he agreed to visit her house, and he had taken the fur coat which valet had handed him very respectfully. Then they both had gone, and next day when the peddler entered into the dining room for breakfast, then the ironmaster realized that the previous night he was mistaken in identifying the peddler. So he was scolding him, and he was asking that you have not done a good thing. Then peddler replied that I had not pretended to be anything. I am a simple trader, and the worst thing can happen that I can wear my rags again and I can go away. But Adla Wilmanson interfered into the matter, and she said that it is not a good thing that to the person whom we ourselves have invited, we are asking him to go. So let him stay on the occasion of Christmas. Then Ironmaster agreed, and he stayed there, and he had taken the lunch. Then he was sleeping. He was totally relaxed. In evening he has taken dinner, and in the night when he had gone to thank Edla Wilmanson, then she said that the suit which he was wearing, that was gift of Christmas from her father's side, and if he wishes, then he can visit their home next year on the occasion of Christmas. And next day in the morning, when the ironmaster and his daughter had gone to the church, then he realized that that man was a thief who had stolen the crofter's money. And after the return, he asked to his valet that whether the man had gone. Then he informed that the peddler had gone, but he had not taken away anything. Instead, he has left one gift for Edla Wilmanson, and that was a rat trap. And inside the rat trap, there were the 30 kroners amount and one letter. And in the letter, the peddler has mentioned that return this money to that crofter who has hung that in the leather pouch, and it is serving as a purpose of bait. And he has written in his letter that the whole day you have given me the regard of a captain, so I would like to reciprocate in the same way, and I don't want to embarrass you by presenting myself as a thief. Then he has signed as captain once told. Thus the story ends. So in this story you will find humor, you will find a very abrupt changes in the storyline and good characterization, and throughout the story the peddler emerges out as a endearable character, because when he got chance to improve himself, he modified his ways and he improved his ways. So that was a brief narration about the Rat Trap written by Selma Lagerlof. Please like, share and subscribe English Solutions channel by C.B.S.E.